Hey guys, it's Benjamin with Benjamin's Exotics, and in today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys how to sex both adult and baby ball pythons. Now before we get into today's video, there are three things I'd like to address. Number one, we are going to be averting the sex organs of snakes in today's video, and also probing snakes with a probe. Pretty self-explanatory, so if you don't want to see that type of content, don't watch. Simple as that. Number two, if you are a beginner or someone that has not done this before, I highly recommend go out and find somebody in person who has done this before or who is an experienced professional at doing this, because if done incorrectly, whether you are popping, which we're going to be showing in today's video, or probing, even though they're pretty easy to do, if done incorrectly, you can severely hurt the snake. We of course don't want that for your pet or of course for your breeder. And number three, I'm going to go ahead and go over the tools we're going to be using in today's video in depth and just give you guys a quick rundown on the probes and different stuff like that. So when you're going about probing one of your snakes to determine their sex, there's really two different kinds of probes you can use. The first are like this. Normally they're a lot cheaper, and they're basically just kind of like a straight, basically all I can say is like a small pole, and at the end they have a rounded tip so they won't actually cut into your snake when you put it into their cloaca. Okay, something basically like this. I think you can get these off Amazon, eBay, stuff like that for maybe, I've seen $10, $12. These are pretty inexpensive and these work great for adults. However, I would recommend, if you guys can, pick up one of these, and this is basically a little bit different of a design. This is actually a same thing. This is a sexing probe, but instead of having the basically just straight, design, you actually have kind of like this. I'll go ahead and I'll show some B-roll of the end, but it's basically has a rounded tip. Now when you use something like this, I get a lot better accuracy with my babies, and I also use this for some adults, but honestly, I prefer to use the straight design. So basically, like these guys, the red package, if you will, for adults, I just find these work a lot better, and for the babies especially, I just don't think that these thin probes are that safe, and also I just don't get as good of accuracy with these. So I always use the bigger ones for the adults, the ones that do not have the rounded tip that are basically just like a pole, and the ones that do have the ball on the end of the tip is what I use for babies. Now I am going to give one more warning type, basically advice for you guys, and this is pretty common sense, but if you are ever probing or popping a snake and you see the tail start to go back and forth, which is a sign of being in pain, or the snake like flinching, do not keep sexing that animal, okay? You are doing something incorrectly. With popping, you could actually basically prolapse and hurt one of the snake's organs, or with probing, you could actually be piercing the tissue in that snake's reproductive glands, and that is just probably unbelievably painful and not good for the snake. So if you ever see any signs of pain, stop what you're doing, go to a professional that can give you the help you need, and do not hurt your snakes. And with that out of the way, let's go ahead and get straight into the video. Okay, so for the first method, we're going to be looking at probing your ball python. And again, we're just using the basically, lubricating jelly as it's called, and the third, I guess, smallest probe from the cheaper probe kit that I showed you guys, the red one. So this is not the smallest, not the second smallest, but the third smallest in that kit. And the first one we're going to do is a female ball python. So let me actually grab her right behind me. And this is just a cinnamon female, nothing too fancy, but will do perfect for what we want to show in today's video. So as you can see, very, very big female. We're looking at, 2,000 plus grams. You can't even see her fully in the camera, but real pretty girl. So first thing I'm going to do is just go ahead and get this snake at the base of her tail. Again, I'm going to try to support her weight on my neck. You guys can't see because I'm behind the camera, but I'm going to basically have her tail just like this. Okay, if the camera would focus. Come on, you can do it. There we go. So just like that on the female. Then I'm going to take the probe, and I'm just really going to be generous in how much I put with the jelly lubricant. So all I'm going to do is really just kind of dip it in there and kind of get a good amount. It's not really sticking quite how I'd like it to. And just like that, okay? I never skimp out at all, and the camera is really going to be a pain to focus in this video. Come on. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to take this, and as you can see, I'm just going to literally smother it all over the snake's vent just like that. Again, you can't really overdo this. It's not going to hurt the snake at all. And then all I'm going to do is just make sure I kind of get fresh lubricant on the end of the tip, and I'm going to go right into the side of that snake's cloaca. And I try to like to hold their tail straight if possible, especially for the males. But all I'm going to do is take just like that, and basically go in the female's cloaca, kind of like that. I can get it on camera. And I'm going to go just to the left. And I'm going to go just slightly in until I feel some pressure, which I feel some pressure right about there. It isn't really going to go any further. I'm going to take my finger and pull, and as you can see, barely even goes in the female. If we put it up there, you can see just a few scales into the base of her tail. And then again, just to kind of double verify, I always, especially if it's a female or I think it's a female, I always double verify on the other side. So if she'll cooperate and if the camera will focus, we're going to do this one more time. Come on. There we go. So there's the female's tail, and she is wrapping around the tripod, which is not really working out good for me. Come on, girl. This is always a fun process, especially to get on camera. Okay, come on. Focus. There we go. Okay, so again, I have some lubricant. I'm going to put it right there on the snake. Again, I kind of like to hold it just like this. I'm going to go down into the snake's cloaca, and then just to the side, and once I feel the basically small gap, I'm going to slowly put it in there, and I'm going to feel a little bit of resistance. I'm going to pull that out, and as you can see, literally it barely goes in, just a few scales on this female. Okay, so now we're going to do a male. As you can see, here's a big normal male. He's probably, oh, I don't even know. He's got to be getting really close to 3,000 grams. I mean, hopefully you can see. He's a pretty big male, and we're going to probe him. And hopefully you guys will be able to see there is no question at all that this guy's going to be a male. And especially your older males are really going to probe really deep compared to your females. We're talking about 7+ scales deep is not uncommon. So again, I'm going to do is support this guy's body. Take his tail, and I really would like to hold it straight for the males because again, you are going many scales down, and you really want to make sure that that snake is not going to move or anything like that. So there's the snake's vent. Again, I'm going to take my probe and get fresh lubricating jelly on it. Again, just basically I'm going to smother it all over around the snake's vent, just like that. I'm going to go just on both sides. Okay, again, really being generous with this because I want to have a good, solid, basically slide going down. And again, with your males, make sure your tail is straight. You want to be very careful when you do this, and I'm not jamming it in the snake. I'm not doing anything like that. I'm literally just barely sliding this down this snake's cloaca. So I'm going to go in just like that, and again, we're not going down the middle. We're going down the side of the snake. So right about there, and I'm going to put it in, and once I feel that spot, just about, I need to go a little bit more to the side with this guy. Again, sometimes your males can be a little bit harder to get a good, solid, I guess you could call it connection, and he is grabbing the tripod, and come on. Again, this is a very fun process to try to do, especially if you don't have somebody helping you hold the snake. Come on, buddy. If you have a second person, which is always recommended, they can hold the snake for you, but when you're trying to do it with just a tripod, they kind of can try to escape. Okay, let's see if we can get this guy back into focus. Okay, so let's try this again. For first time, I know this is a male, of course, and we didn't really get a good connection. I'm going to go in and to the side. Okay, now right on that pocket that I've hit. Okay, I'm going to go in just like that. Again, I try to hold their tail straight. I just find that it's a little bit better for the snake, and just like that, I'm just going to very ever so gently slide that in. Again, no pressure is being applied at all. Okay, now, once we hit a pretty good, and we feel that stopping point, we're going to go ahead and pull out. And as you can see, that is going, I don't know how many, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9-ish scales down. You can easily see the difference between this and that female. Again, the female is only going to be going down, you know, maybe 3 or 4, and the males are going to be going down, you know, usually upwards of 7 scales for your adults and also for your babies. And then again, just like the female, I will show you guys the other side just to have a second visual aid, basically. So again, I'm going to basically get a refreshed amount of the jelly lubricant, just like that. I'm going to go right there, rub it on the area that I want to put it in, and make sure that I have it on the probe when I go in. I'm going to go right here. Oop. I'm going to go down in the snake's cloaca, and then to the side, okay, on the right. Then once I hit that spot, it should ease its way pretty easily into this guy. And again, once I feel that stopping point where the probe basically won't go in, pull it out. And look at that. Again, you guys can probably count on the camera better than I can, but we're at least going down, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, maybe even 10 scales down from that guy's vent. So you can see, easily can identify, this is what you'll get when you're probing for a male, and of course you might only get something like that when you're probing for a female. Okay, so now I'm going to show you guys the popping method. And again, this isn't my favorite method, but in order to be able to accurately identify the sex of your ball python, this is very important to know how to do. And as you can see, this is a much smaller ball python. We're now going to do babies. This is a baby pastel, really, really nice male. And I'm going to show you guys the male first so you guys can really see what we're looking for compared to the female. So let's go ahead and look at this little guy's cloaca. And again, sometimes these guys will actually go to the bathroom on you a little bit, which makes this hard. This is actually my second or third attempt at this shot because of that. But all we're going to do is take this guy's cloaca. Again, no lubricant or anything involved, just 2 fingers. Now, I'm going to basically, if we can get a good shot of this and the camera will focus, I'm going to apply a little bit of counter pressure right here with this thumb right here at the base of his ventral scale or cloaca, right? Then I'm going to take my other finger. Some people will press down on the snake like this, you know, going this way. I don't really find that to be the most effective method. I like to take my thumb just like this right here, and I'm literally just going to roll. Okay, and you guys can hopefully see on the side that thing that pops out right there between my 2 thumbs. See if I let go, how it sucks back in. That is going to be the hemipene. It might take a second for the camera to really focus on this, but you can see comes out, goes in, comes out, goes in. That is what I'm looking for on a male. Okay, so here's the popping method on a female, and you can see just a little baby bumblebee, and really a gorgeous, look at the high whites on that girl, really incredible. She is of course a holdback for this year, but I'm going to show you guys that when I pop this girl, you're not going to see any of that basically redness and that red little, because you'd call it, almost looks like a probe basically coming out of the snake, which is the male's hemipene. So let's go ahead and again, same exact thing on the vent of this girl. I'm going to take this finger, apply a bit of counter pressure right here behind, and I'm going to pull the ventral scale back just a little bit, okay? Come right here with this finger, and I'm going to roll. Okay, just like that. Okay, now I've already probed these guys as well, and I, of course, got the results of male and female, but just to check, you can see when I roll with this, I'm getting nothing, okay? I'm getting pink, you know, just a little bit of pink, and you see when I put it in and out, there's nothing that's sucking in or out of that snake. You might have little nodules on the side sometimes, and those are like scent glands, but they're not going to be red, and they're not going, and then if you do avert those, they're going to stay out. Unlike the male where it's going to suck back in, you can see just pink. No red at all on this female. So overall, I hope you guys did enjoy and most importantly benefit from today's video. If you liked the video, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Until next time, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.